This week makes 2 whole years since my wife and I decided to pack up and move our family down to Florida from our hometown, Little Rock, Arkansas, subcontracting all of our work back home and basically starting a brand new business. And in this video, I am going to be sharing 5 powerful lessons that I've learned over these 2 years and why that was the best decision we could have ever made. Let's get into the video. Lesson number 1 is to start before you're ready, right? Because if I had waited till everything was figured out and it was the perfect time, then I would have still been waiting. We pretty much just came down here on a whim, right? On that week-long trip, we took a week-long trip in February of 2023. And during that particular trip, that's when I got out on foot and I was sharing my business with other people in the area, basically going door to door, right, with my flyers and business cards. And that's exactly how I got my first account out here. And if I had waited, I didn't have a Florida LLC, I didn't have an EIN number, I didn't have insurance. All I had was the faith that I could go out there and do something and speak with people. And that's exactly how this happened, right? So if you know you want to go do something, if there's something you want to do or start, or you want to get into this business, don't try to have everything figured out, because it will never be the perfect time. You just have to go and do it, right? Lesson number 2 is the fortune is in the follow-up, right? That's been so important for me, and it's important for everybody too, right? Because here's the thing about it. People get busy, they may not see your message or your email, or it might get lost or whatever, so you must follow up with people, right? So during that particular trip we came down here, I ended up meeting the lady that ended up getting my first contract from. When I flew back home to Arkansas, I made sure I followed up with her and let her know, hey, you know, checking in with you to see if you remember me or whatever. Did you send my information up to the property manager? And that's exactly what she did. You know, after, well, I will say this, she hit me like, hey, can you send me additional information? When I sent that additional information to her, she sent my information up to the property manager, and that's how I got my first walkthrough and contract out here, right? I flew down here, did the walkthrough, sent the proposal, you know, when I got back home, and boom, next thing you know, we got a contract. And I also remember one lady actually telling me, or I followed up with a lady before, right? And she was like, hey, Darian, thank you so much for the gentle reminder. Here's those documents that I needed to get you, or whatever, right? So that just reminded me and let me know, like, man, you gotta stay on top of these people because they get busy, right? We all get busy. We got things going on, but when you follow up, that the fortune is in that, right? You will get a contract just for following up, just for staying on top of people's mind. And that lets you know, or lets them know, that you are professional and you are persistent and you serious about this. Like, you're not bothering them, you just let them know you care, right? So keep that in mind. The fortune is in the follow-up. Lesson number 3 is to build a team before you burn out. And I'll say this lesson is probably the most important or most significant to me as far as mindset shifts, because I grew up cleaning buildings, right? So it was never a problem to me to go and clean the buildings. But as I started getting more and more accounts and needing help, I knew that I was not going to be able to do that by myself. And I had to start bringing people in to help me out. And it was a real mindset shift that I had to have, right? Here's the thing. Back home in Arkansas, we had a few large accounts. It was cool, but I was cleaning a lot of them. We probably had 2 or 3, maybe 4 subcontractors helping us out on a regular basis, but it was low key. We was chilling, just comfortable, right? It reminds me of this particular scripture that I just seen not too long ago. I want to say it's 1 Thessalonians 4:11, right? Make it your duty or your goal to mind your own business, living a quiet life, or working with your hands, or something like that, right? And that's exactly how we was living, right? I wasn't on YouTube sharing nothing. I wasn't bothering nobody, nothing like that. And it was cool, but it was comfortable, and maybe too comfortable, right? That's why I say making this move out here changed my life, because I've opened up more, right? And I've been able to build a team and actually grow a business that is more significant than the one that we built in Arkansas, right? Even though it was still cool, it's just that when you build a team, you're not putting so much pressure on yourself, right? And now where I'm at nowadays, I'm looking to build management now, right? So I can get out of a lot of the day-to-day stuff and do more stuff like this, right? Just just being honest with y'all, right? So that right there has been the biggest lesson for me, I want to say. But let's get into the next lesson. Lesson number 4 is to find a like-minded community, right? Basically meaning finding people you can talk to about your business, whether that's a mentor, accountability partners, some sort of network, whatever it is. Finding people who you can bounce ideas off of, you can ask questions and share things with. That's been one of the most powerful things for me, right? As far as proximity, masterminds, whatever. Like even some of the masterminds that I've had on my very channel has been game changing and powerful for me as far as ideas that I've come up with and lessons I've learned, right? That's another reason that I got on YouTube, is because when I got out here, I didn't have no community. I didn't have anybody to go pull up on and just talk to. Like my mentors was back in Arkansas, right? So I got on YouTube to start sharing my journey and documenting this whole process. But I have gained a tremendous amount of value from the people that I've met just from posting, right? Reaching out to me, or I'll reach out to them. We have conversations, chop it up, and that's one of the most powerful things, right? So definitely make sure you find a community. Lesson number 5 is to use the right systems and software in order to stay organized, right? I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all, right? When I first started my cleaning business, I was really all over the place. Things were very unorganized, right? As far as sending out invoices, I would craft a PDF sheet and I would send it to a person's email like that every time, right? That was not the best process. And one of the funniest things that we did is when my team members got to a building, in the janitorial closet, we had a clipboard with time sheets on it, right? And they would get to the building and write the time they got there and write the time they left, right? And so I didn't know if they were lying or not, right? I don't know if they really got there at that time or what, right? But when we got down here to Florida, I knew I had to find a better process for these type of systems, right? To put something better in place. And that is why I teamed up with Jobber. You have the capability to allow your team members to check in when they get to the building and check out. And on that particular app, you can check it and see where they were when they clocked in or checked in. That has been the biggest game changer for me and my business, because it's been stress-free, right? I don't have to guess if they made it to the building or not, and they don't have to text me or call me, whatever. And my managers can also go in there and look at this as well. And if you need to, you can also send out your invoices, quotes, do all your scheduling, whatever you need. If you know you need a software like this, definitely click the link in the description below for a 14-day free trial and special discount just for tapping in with me on this particular channel. I hope this has been valuable for you. Let me just say this too, right? We are 2 years into a brand new city, and I just think about how life can be or would have been had I stayed in my comfort zone, right? Or if I didn't make that move or take the shot on this opportunity that presented itself to me, right? And so my challenge to you watching this particular video right here, right? If you know you want to do something, if you feel it in your heart, you want to do something, you want to make a move or make an impact for your family and your business, do the thing. Do it scared, do it afraid, do it without having everything figured out. Go out there, make the call, go introduce your business to somebody, sign up for the networking group, whatever it is, right? Do the thing and do it right now. That's been my 5 lessons. I hope this has been helpful for you. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.